Hello and welcome back. This is episode 22 of my Realignment 2028 series. And we are the expansion team Oakland A's and in the middle of the 2032 playoffs. In case you missed the last episode, we are currently in the ALCS and about to face the Texas Rangers after beating the White Sox 3-1 in the division series. So this should be a good series, I think. Both the Rangers and the A's finished 97 and 65 this year, so theoretically a very evenly matched series. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll go over our lineups here. They haven't really changed since the last series, but yeah, let's get into it. And from top to bottom here, we've got Austin Wells leading off. He's our catcher. Steven Martinez at right field. Roman Anthony starting in left field because we have a right-handed pitcher on the mound that we're facing today. Pico Armstrong was amazing during the regular season, put up 7.8 WAR. A little disappointing so far in the playoffs. Just a 200 average. 533 OPS. Hopefully he steps it up a little bit in this series here. We're going to need him to. Anthony Volpe has been hot, though. He's, 1.2 OPS for the series, for the playoffs so far. Brett Beatty at third base. He's been a bit cold, and by a bit I mean, very cold. Let's see if he can turn things around. DeJesus had a monster game in the last game of the series, 2 home runs and a double for a 1301 OPS. Yeah, we'll take that for sure. Cooper Kinney at first base and Adrian Santana at shortstop. Not hitting well, but his strength is in his defense, not his bat. So he will get the start there. And Gavin Jones will take the mound for us today. He's been our ace all season. Had an okay showing against the White Sox in a loss. 3 earned runs and 6 innings pitched. That's about average. Hopefully he'll step it up a little bit here. We will need him to. And the Texas Rangers have Wyatt Langford, always dangerous. Just a consistently very, very good player, even at 30 years old, going strong. Paulino Santana will play right field for them today. He also looks good. Sebastian Walcott, 26 years old, and playing third base for them today. Harrison Sapo, young right fielder / DH for them today. Caleb Bonnemer is their second baseman, and then we've got Brandon Marsh in center field. Marsh was on their team last year, and Marcel Ozuna still kicking around at age 41. He's their first baseman today. Surprised they didn't play him at DH over Sapo, but not gonna question the CPU's decisions, I guess. Aliendo is their catcher. We have Austin Wells as our catcher now. He was their catcher last year. Maybe a bit of a revenge game in store for him. And Brian Ritzone at shortstop for them, with Freddie Tarnock on the mound. He is not their ace, so in fact, we will not be facing their ace in this series because he is one of their aces is out. We do still have to face Kyle Bradish, but they have Hunter Green, I believe, on the DL. Let's go to the Rangers again real quick. Hunter Green, who was their ace throughout the season, put up 5 pitching WAR. He's out for 4 months. He's missing the rest of the season with surgery to remove bone spurs in his elbow. Sustained that injury like 3 days before the end of the regular season. Just brutal. And that's why I try to rest my guys down the stretch as much as I can, because you don't want that going into the playoffs. Jesus Lopez also started 23 games for them. also out for 1 week and will not be playing in this series. So we kind of get the Rangers B squad here, and yeah, we'll have to take advantage of that, especially against Freddie Tardock in Game 1. And they do, it looks like, have the home field advantage against us thanks to a better head-to-head matchup. They are the 1 seed and we're the 2 seed technically, so they will get that extra home game, which every advantage matters in a series like this. Let's get into Game 1. He's 5th in saves in the AL, so he might be a converted reliever that they're having pitch now. As Wells blasts that one to left field. That might not stay in the ballpark. And it's out of here. Nice leadoff home run for Austin Wells. He takes advantage early, takes his revenge early, and we are on the board immediately, 1-0. That's the way to start the game right there. And Martinez pops one up. That's no issues there. 1 out. Roman Anthony strikes out there. And PCA. Let's see if he can get going here today. And he hits a little grounder to the first base side. That was playable for their first baseman, Ozuna. And we don't get any other runs besides the monster solo shot for Wells to lead off the game. And let's see how Jones does against a very potent Rangers lineup. It hits a grounder to Beatty, and no problems there. Santana will step in. And he gets hit. Okay. So, man on now with 1 out, and Santana definitely a threat to steal. He does not go, but that is hit and playable for PCA, so he pulls it in for the 2nd out of the inning. And Sapo, as the runner does take off, but that is playable for our left fielder Anthony. So no runs off that hit batter, and we'll step back in with Volpe facing Tarnock. That's snagged by the shortstop red zone, and that's the 1st out of the inning. And Brett Beatty will bat next, as he's hit Texas well this year, and he continues to hit Texas well this year with a lead, not a leadoff single, but a single. DeJesus had a monster game his last time up. Let's see if he can continue that hot streak here, as that's hit fairly well, but playable for the left fielder Langford. That's no issue there. Cooper Kinney will step in. Let's see what he can do. And that falls in for a base hit to right field. So now we have 1st and 3rd. Beatty goes to 3rd. 1st and 3rd with 2 outs, and Santana at the plate. And he hits one to the gap. That'll score a run. And maybe 2. Kinney does go for home. Santana with the 2 RBI double advances to 3rd off of the defense there. And yeah, we're in business. Wells back up. And walks. So this inning will continue. Nice offense here with 2 outs in the inning. Let's see if Steven Martinez can keep the inning going here, as he grounds it to the 3rd baseman, and that will be the 3rd out of the inning. But we score 2 more, and it's 3-0. As Bonner will step in. And that's hit well, hit deep to right field, but playable for Martinez, and he's got it for the 1st out of the inning. Brandon Marsh strikes out. Nice job there by Jones. 1st strikeout of the game, Ozuna. And that's grounded up the middle, but Volpe handles it and throws it to 1st for the 3rd out of the inning. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jones. Nice job there. Anthony on the 3-2 pitch draws a leadoff walk. Nice job getting on there. Tarnock already at 51 pitches. As PCA hits one, bobbled by the third baseman. That will allow him to get on. We have first and second with two very speedy runners, and Volpe at the plate, who's been hot. And a wild pitch. Both of those speedy runners will now be in scoring position. They're getting into some trouble this inning. Let's see if we can take advantage of it. Volpe still at the plate. Ooh, and he strikes out. Okay. Beatty will step in. And he hits one deep. That might not stay in the yard. That is crushed and gone. 3-run homer for Beatty. And it's 6-0 now. Nice job by our offense in this one. DeJesus strikes out. Kinney strikes out. So he strikes out the next two batters, but the damage is done. That's a 3-run inning off the 3-run homer by Brett Beatty, and it's 6-0 now. Nice cushion here for Jones, who's been doing well so far. And Aliendo lines out to center field. No issues there. And that's hit fairly well to the gap, but PCA covers a lot of ground, and look at that dive. Nice job by PCA. That's his elite defense at work. And striking out there. So 3 up, 3 down. Jones is dealing, and they're going to their bullpen already with Jose Herrera coming in. It's great when you can get to their bullpen early in game 1 of a series. Let's see what we can do here. And not much there. Santana grounds out to the shortstop red zone. And Wells hits a grounder at the middle, but that's playable for their second baseman, Bonnemer. And 2 outs in the inning for Martinez. And that should be playable for Rinso. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. But still up 6-0. Gavin Jones only at 32 pitches. And that is the first hit of the ball game for the Rangers. They have a man on. It is a speedy runner as well. Let's see if he looks to steal. No. And there's a strikeout for Walcott. That's Jones' 3rd strikeout of the game. He does run there. And Wells late with the throw. That is Santana stealing second. And he's in scoring position now. So Sapo hits it right to Santana. Throws to first, and now we have 2 outs in the inning. Let's see if we can get Bonnemer here. And that's hit right to PCA in center field. So despite the hit, no damage done. Still 6-0. And Ryan Weathers comes in to pitch next against Anthony. Do we pitch hit for Anthony here? It is 6-0, but Anthony particularly bad against left-handed pitching. We might go with Shelley here to pinch hit. And he can stay in to play defense. We'll do that. As Shelley hits one deep, that might not stay in the yard. Shelley with the pinch hit home run. My God, and that's 7-0 now. This game just falling apart in a hurry for the Rangers. And PCA stays somewhat cold as he only reached base last time due to an error. Volpe 0 for 2 today. Now 1 for 3 today as that finds left field for a base hit. And Beatty, normally not good against left-handed pitching, but he's 2 for 2 today. I'm not pulling him. And Beatty It's that one deep. Is that going to stay in the yard? No, that's his second home run today. Beatty rewarding my trust in him with a monster shot, 413 feet. It is now 9-0. We are in blowout territory, and Rosario comes in to pitch. They are blowing through their bullpen like crazy right now, and I love to see that in Game 1 of the series. Cooper Kinney strikes out. Okay, so that is the inning, but another 3-run homer by Beatty, who's having a game here. Yeah, Shelley will stay into play right field. No, sorry, that was a 2-run homer by Beatty and then a solo homer by Shelley. But yeah, Gavin Jones only at 49 pitches, and he's going to keep going. Marsh strikes out there. Ozuna does hit a single into center field, and Aliendo will step in. Let's see if we can get the double play here. Strikeout I will take too. That's his 5th strikeout of the game. Rinson hits one fairly well to center field, but that should be playable for PCA, and that's the last out of the inning. So still no runs scored, and it's 9-0. Oh, Gavin Jones is injured, and they have to take him out of the ball game. Oh my God, he was dealing too. Okay, well, we'll go to someone else here. Yeah, Santana will step in. And lined and caught to Walcott. Austin Wells hits that one fairly well to center field, but playable for Marsh. And Steven Martinez will bat. And that's hit deep to left center field and will not stay in the yard. I don't know how many home runs we've hit today, but it's a lot. It's 10-0 now. And we are definitely in blowout territory here as Shelley strikes out. Okay, Gavin Jones out. We are officially in... yeah, let's put in Griffin Tobias. He's our long reliever. And see what he can do with a 10-0 lead here. And no issues there. Throw to first, 1 out. Santana. And that's a little flare, but playable for Volpe. 2nd out of the inning. And that's hit right to Santana. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Tobias. And PCA will bat against Rosario. Strikes out. Volpe up next. Brett Beatty will try to make it 4 for 4 and will not make it 4 for 4 as he does pop it up there. But yeah, this is a game right here. And that is a hit allowed for Tobias. But you know, he's going to keep going for a while. We might even put in a position player here to pitch in the 9th, depending on how Tobias does. Tobias at 23 pitches and gets the out there. So, yeah, DeJesus hits with a little flare. It's sinking, but playable for Santana. And Kinney will come up to bat. And he pops it up. That's playable for Aliendo. Santana, 1 for 3 today. Make that 2 for 4 as he hits one to the gap. And we've got a double here in the 8th inning. You know, we don't need any more runs, but I'll take them. As Wells hits the 3-1 pitch over the head of the second baseman there, and that will likely score a run as Santana very speedy on the base paths. It's 11-0 now. As Rosario getting tired, he's thrown 57 pitches and does strike out Martinez there. So we'll see if he comes back out for the 9th. But yeah, Tobias will likely finish this game for us. Will at least be throwing the whole 8th inning. As he, harmlessly gets the first 2 outs, 39 pitches. He does walk Langford here, but Santana will step in. As Langford runs, and again, no problems there, as Tobias covers first, and we get out of it without any other runs scored. Jose Buto will bat. I think in the 9th, too, we will pinch hit for both PCA and Volpe. Get some other guys batting opportunities, get those guys some rest in the 9th inning. Let's see, for PCA, we will bat, who can play the outfield? RDU Shelley. Technically, Austin Wells can play first base. I mean, DeJesus can play the outfield, but he's our DH today. Maybe PCA will stay in after all. I mean, I could just throw someone in left field, I guess. Oh, Justin Grant can play left field. Okay. Justin Grant, come on down. You're the next pinch hitter in this game. Strikes out. Okay. And Volpe will be pinch hit for Cutter Coffee. Zimmerman can play a mediocre second base, as can Beatty. I think I'd rather have Beatty. So yeah, let's pinch hit Cutter Coffee. And he does hit it right to Rinzone. So now let's see here, as I want to see pitching ratings. Ooh, you know who has some pitcher ratings and was a two-way player at one point is Cutter Coffee. So Cutter Coffee will stay in to... Oh, man. Will it not let me... I don't think it'll let me shift Coffee to... okay. how can we do this? I want Cutter Coffee to pitch, so I think we want Shelley in center field, Martinez in right, Jesus in left. Okay. And it removed. Okay, we'll make this work. As we have no second baseman now, but Gerald Zimmerman can kind of play second base, so whatever. It's 11-0. Cutter Coffee's getting some garbage time pitching in here. Strikeout. Strikeout. And popped it up. So Coffee throws a 1-2-3 inning. Very nice there. Scored 10 runs in a shutout, hit a leadoff homer, get 5 RBI in a game. That was a monster game. How many home runs did we hit? Wells hit 1, Beatty hit 2, Shelley hit 1, Martinez hit 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home runs in that game total. Just an absolute walloping. Yeah, that was a game. That was a game. As Cutter Coffee comes in for the shutdown save. Jones had a great game. Oh, he has an oblique strain and is out for 2 weeks, so he will miss the rest of the series. And will he miss the World Series too, if we made it that far? I don't know. So, oblique strain for 2 weeks. That puts it at Sunday, not the 24th, but the 30th. So he could potentially be back for the next series. Yeah, so he has to stay on the roster in order to be eligible for the next series. So we'll have an interesting decision come game 5 of this series. Who's going to slot into the rotation there? But yeah, that's game 1. Man, I have a lot of mixed feelings about that because that's obviously a great win. We got to their bullpen early in the series, so they have several guys now that they're down, but yeah, we lose our ace for the rest of the series. So game 5 start is now a big question mark, unless I want to force him to miss the World Series as well, and I don't want to do that. So, I mean, I think we will probably see either Ferris or Sieber slot back into the rotation for game 5. Or maybe we'll do some kind of bullpen game. I don't know. But, yeah, we might not need a game 5, though. I mean, with how we've been playing, maybe we'll sweep them. Who knows? But, we're going to plan ahead as if a game 5 will be played. I can't imagine we'll be blowing them out 11-0 every game in this series. So, yeah, we'll go hunt to game 2. Okay, we're getting into game 2 here after that walloping in game 1. Yeah, we're rolling out the exact same lineup that we had last time. Seemed to work pretty well, so, why not? We're facing Peter Michael today. a guy with two last names, or two first names. And yeah, he looks like pretty mediocre. Um, so we'll see if we can get to him here. Sometimes those guys tend to have the best performances in the playoffs, but we'll see. We have Jose Bello going today. He was pretty solid for us throughout the whole season. ERA just over 4 and WAR of 3.2. ERA plus sitting right at the league average 101. But yeah, he should be solid. I think the rough plan for me today is going to be just thinking ahead a bit, depending on how Bello does, obviously. But I think I'm going to do Sieber in relief, most likely. And then that would make him still available, mostly rested, if not entirely rested, for a possible Game 5. That is my tentative plan. Alternatively, I could do Jackson Ferris, but I think I like Sieber as a starter a little more and Ferris as a reliever a little more. So, yeah. So let's get into this game. That's about as far ahead as I'm going to look in terms of matchups for a possible Game 5. As far as I am concerned, we could win the next 4 and then not even need to worry about a Game 5. So we'll see. Let's get into it. I think it's unlikely with how good Texas is that will be the case, but you never know. You never know. Baseball is weird sometimes. I would love to go up 2-0 in this series, though, and head back to Oakland with a 2-0 lead. So let's see what we can do as Austin Wells lines out on the first at-bat. Steven Martinez. And he's hit one to the wall. That looks like extra bases. Nice job there. And he's on with the double with 1 out. I was going to say, he's hot right now, but I'm sure with how the last game went, a lot of our hitters are probably considered pretty hot right now. So let's see if that can continue as Roman Anthony flies out to center field. And PCA here. 1 second. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that. PCA will step in here. And that's it to shallow center field for a base hit. That should score a run if Steven gets home safely with a single. And PCA drives home a run. It's 1-0 now. Sorry about that. And Volpe strikes out to end the inning. But we get on the board. It is now 1-0. And Bello will face the top of the lineup, Paulino Santana. And that's hit decently well, but caught by Martinez. Langford now steps in, and he'll walk. So 1 on now with 1 out. And Langford runs. Let's see if we can get him. And nice job by Wells there, gunning him down. 2 outs now in the inning. Did Lauder up, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Walcott will bat now and strike out now. So that get out of the inning without any damage done. 1-0. Brett Batty had a monster game in the last game, Game 1, with 2 home runs. Little pop out there. De Jesus was hot in the first series and grounds out there to the second baseman. All right. Cooper Kinney, let's see what he can do. And he hits one up the middle for a base hit to shallow center field. Nice job there. Santana will bat next as Kinney takes off on the 3-2 pitch, but that's playable for the second baseman. And yeah, that's the inning as You're still up 1-0. Ponitowski is up to bat next. And he strikes out. Nice job there. Ozuna will bat. He's been hot. But grounds out there to the first baseman. And that is second out of the inning. And Brandon Marsh up next. Oh, and that's bobbled by Santana, and that'll allow Marsh to get on. So Santana, I think that's his second error of the playoffs, even though he's got a 70 error rating. Like, has not come through in the clutch there when it comes to errors. But I'm sure he gets through a lot of balls that other guys otherwise couldn't. And it didn't matter anyway. We get out of the inning safely. Still 1-0. Back to the top of the order with Wells up to bat. And it hits him. Okay, so Wells is on now with nobody out. Martinez will ground to the shortstop, and they do get one, but do not turn the double play. So still 1 on with 1 out. And that's hit on a little flare to right, and Santana pulls it in. PCA will bat again. He is 1 for 1 today, but strikes out. And that's the inning. So still 1-0. Bello will face Rinson. And that's hit, but right to Anthony. No worries there. Santana will bat next. And that's hit, but playable for PCA as he pulls that one in. And Langford strikes out. Nice job there by Bello. 1-2-3 inning. Like to see that. Volpe up next. And he hits that one on a line. That could get to the wall for extra bases, and it will. Nice job hitting it into the gap in left center there, and Volpe likely has a double. And that is indeed a leadoff double for Volpe. So, Brett Beatty will step in, and he will walk. So, got 2 on now with no outs, and DeJesus up to bat. Peter Michael already at 74 pitches here in the 4th. And that's hit fairly deep, but over the center fielder's head. Nice job there, and that will score at least 1, probably 2. Beatty stays at third, so just 1, but we have second and third still with no outs in the inning. Cooper Kinney up to bat. And Kinney strikes out, so that is first out of the inning, and Santana up next. He strikes out. That's the second out of the inning, okay. Let's see if Wells can knock him home. Oh, as the ball skips away, but blocked in the dirt by Aliendo. As Wells grounds it, but playable for the shortstop Rinson. So only 1 out, or 1 run scored, despite a promising start to the inning, but still ahead 2-0. And it's popped up, and Volpe pulls it in. And we've got Walcott up next. Hits one to Beatty, and Beatty throws it across. No problem there. Ponitowski. I don't know if it's Toski or Toski. Either way, he's out. It's still 2-0 in the top of the 5th. And Martinez strikes out on 3 pitches there. Anthony will bat next. And that's hit right to the first baseman. So Ozuna grabs that, pulls it in, and PCA will bat next. And PCA Harmless grounder to Potatoski. Or Ponatowski, I don't know. Bello will face Ozuna here. And that's grounded to Kenny. Bello covers first and gets the out there. Brandon Marsh is up to bat. And he hits one fairly well to left field, but Anthony pulls that one in and got 2 outs now in the inning. And that's over Santana's head for a base hit. So we do have a runner on now with 2 outs. And Rinson up to bat. And Rinson hits one, but PCA goes down into a slide to catch it. That's the elite defense out there. And they are going to their bullpen with Chase McDermott coming in. And we've got Volpe up to bat. Let's see what he can do here. And harmless grounder to the third baseman, and Walcott gets that out there. Brett Beatty strikes out. Okay. And De Jesus, 1 for 2 today. Also strikes out. Okay, so they get a 1-2-3 inning. Bello at 71 pitches. We are to the top of the order. Let's see if he can get through the 6th here. Do only have a 2-0 lead, so any type of friction, base runners, hits, walks, yeah, we might think about pulling him, but does get the first out there. And Langford grounds out there, no problem. That's the 2nd out. And Bello at 83 pitches, starting to get tired, but he will face DeLauder. And strikes out. Nice job there. Okay, so I think that's probably his day done. No runs, 2 hits. And I think we'll turn to Sieber for the rest of the way. Yeah, great outing by Bello. And that's a nice diving play, but does not get the throw to first in time. And Kenny's on now with no outs and Santana up to bat. And there's a little flare into left field for a hit. Nice job, Santana. So we got 2 on, nobody out. And Weathers comes in, the lefty against Wells, who is not good against lefties. I think we look to possibly pinch hit here in a 2-0 game. Because Wells does not hit lefties well. We could go to Grant maybe, or Bailey. I mean, Bailey will obviously come in to play catcher at some point, but yeah, let's go with Grant, who has been hot against lefties and pretty good in general, to pinch hit for Wells here. And strikes out on 3 pitches. Not a great look for Grant. Martinez will bat for himself. And walks on 4 pitches. Okay, so now we've got Anthony up to bat, and he also doesn't hit lefties particularly well. He is, in fact, the worst hitter on our team against lefties, so I think we go to Shelley here. Yeah, let's do Shelley. He had a monster home run in the last game. Let's see what he can do here. That one does find left field, and it's shallow enough to prevent the run from scoring. So PCA up. he will not be pulled, even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Yeah, I'm not pulling him from the game. Ooh, and he walks him. All right, so we walk home a run. Caleb Ferguson comes in to face Volpe. Volpe hits it, but that is playable for the shortstop there. Flips it to second. So we do get another insurance run. Just one run, but, you know, we're still up 3-0. So, okay. So, Wade Shelley will stay in and play right field. Martinez will move to left. Justin Grant, I think. Brett Beatty is over 2 today, right? Yeah. I think I'll have Grant stay in and play third and just put Bailey in at catcher now. Have him lead off the next inning. And then for pitchers, we're going to go with our initial plan and bring in Sieber for the 9th or for the 7th. Hopefully he'll be able to pitch 3 strong innings here and finish out this game, but we'll see. As he strikes out Walcott for this first batter. Nice job there. Ponitowski. And that's fouled out of play. And he walks Ponitowski. Okay. So 1 on now for Ozuna. And that's a little flare, but playable for Martinez. Second out of the inning. And Marsh strikes out. Nice job there. So Sieber gets out of it. It's 3-0. And Ferguson will face Bailey. They leave the lefty in, even though Bailey's good against left-handed pitching. Although he does not come through there. That's an out at first, and DeJesus will bat. And that's grounded to the shortstop, and that's the second out of the inning. Kinney is up next. And walks. So Santana will bat next with Kinney on first. As Kinney looks to steal. And he is safe. Nice jump there by Kinney. All right, Kinney gets himself into scoring position. Let's see if Santana can knock him in. No, he strikes out. All right. But we head to the 8th as Aliendo, Rinson, Santana are the batters up. Aliendo strikes out. Rinson hits it to the right side of the infield, and that's playable for Volpe. Yeah, Santana strikes out. Nice job there. And it would be Grant, Martinez, Shelley to face Ferguson. So Grant hits a little flare, but playable for Santana. And that's the first out of the inning. Martinez next. It's another flare, but that hangs up enough for Langford to grab it. And Shelley will bat. And again, that hangs up enough for the right fielder Santana. So he makes a nice running catch. Nice job there. All right. Sieber will start the 9th. He's at 35 pitches. I think, you know, if he gets into any kind of trouble, we'll go to someone else. But let's see if he can finish this one out. So he's starting to get tired at 40 pitches. And the lefty up. Let me see here. Could go to Bourgeois, who's been good. Yeah, let's play it safe and go to Bourgeois here to close out this game. As they bring in Sapo to pinch hit. They are down to their final 2 outs. And Sapo appears to ground out harmlessly to Grant. So that's the second out. Just one more out to go as Walcott will step in to face Bourgeois. And that's hit, but right to Shelley. And we are winners of this game 3-0, going up 2-0 in the Championship League Series. Nice job there. Yeah, Bello. Great game by him. 2 hits, no earned runs, only 1 walk, 4 strikeouts on 87 pitches. If we'd have given him a little bit more run support, I might have even left him in there to see if he could get the shutout. But I don't think, we can't be cute with just a 3-run lead, or it might have only been a 2-run lead at the time. Yeah, we got another insurance run in the 7th. So, yeah. Very happy with that. We're up 2-0 in the series, going back to the next 3 games in Oakland. Sieber and Bourgeois, great in relief. Sieber went 2 1/3 strong innings, no hits, no earned runs, just 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. Like those are very encouraging numbers, and he will be our presumptive Game 5 starter if the series goes to 5 games. And now I can officially hope that that'll be the case, since we are up 2-0. Love to see that. So we'll keep going on to Game 3. We will face Bradish in Game 4, it looks like. We might even see him in Game 3 instead, depending on how they decide to play the rest here, as we'll go ahead and throw Sieber in as the 5th spot in our rotation. So yeah, he's 39% tired, but he will be fine, I think, for two more days of rest. He'll probably be at like 70%, and we might do something like have Mantiply open and have him follow or something. Something like that. But yeah, on to Game 3, and it is Bradish in Game 3, and now on 5 days rest. So this will be a tough one against their current ace, since Hunter Green is out with an injury. But given how we've done so far, I have to imagine we've got a good chance. So let's get into Game 3. All right, Game 3 in Oakland, ready to kick off here. We are up 2-0 in the series. Rolling out the same lineup. It's worked so far. Might as well stick with it. Looks like they have largely the same lineup as well. Chase DeLauder at DH. I think that's a little different, maybe. No, he played in the last game. But Bradish on the mound, he's going to be their toughest pitcher to face, I think, in this series. If we can get to him, that would be great. And Alcantara's going for us tonight. He had a solid outing in the last series against the White Sox. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 82 pitches. That was pretty good. So as long as we get another solid outing from him today, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So let's get into it here. So we are in Oakland, so we are pitching first here in this 58-degree weather. And Sandy Alcantara induces the ground ball to second base. No problem for the first out there. Wyatt Langford will bat next. Strikes out. Nice job there. And Chase DeLauder will bat. And he pops it up. That's going to be playable for either Volpe or Alcantara, and Volpe takes it. So Yeah, 1-2-3 first. Nice job there. Let's see if Austin Wells can stay hot. He's our leadoff hitter. Oh, and that looks like it'll get down into the gap for extra bases in left center. That's a nice way to lead off the inning as he gets a double. Yeah, not bad at all. Steven Martinez will bat next. And he hits it to the left side of the infield. It will be out at first, but it does advance the runner to third, and so any fly ball should score a run here, I imagine. Or the hard ground out to first. They take the play at first, and that is a fielder's choice to score the run there. We're up 1-0. I'll take it. And PCA hits one good to the gap and off the wall, so he'll end up with extra bases here as he slides into second with a double. So getting to Bradish a little bit early here. See if Volpe can continue the inning here. No, he strikes out. But we'll take that. It's a 1-0 lead off of 2 hits. And let's see if Alcantara can keep dealing here against Walcott. Soft little grounder to first base, and Alcantara covers and gets the out at first. And Ponitowski will bat next. And he checks, but does not check enough, and that is an out at first. Or strikeout, sorry. Ozuna is playing first. And strikes out. Nice job there. 1-2-3 inning again. We will take that. We will take that every time. Brett Beatty strikes out on 3 pitches. DeJesus will bat next. And that's hit well, but right at the right fielder, Santana. And that's a second out of the inning. Cooper Kinney steps in. And, oh, bobbled by the shortstop. That'll be an error. And that'll allow Kinney to get on. And Santana will bat. See if we can take advantage of that error. And Santana hits it to the second baseman and routine out at first. So we do not take advantage of the error, but still up 1-0 as Alcantara will face Marsh next. And he walks Marsh on 4 pitches. Aliendo will bat. And that looks like potentially a double play. They get 1. They turn 2. Nice job there. And Rincon will bat. That's hit hard, but right at the left fielder Anthony, and he makes the catch. So still face the minimum amount of batters in the inning as the walk does not come back to bite us. Wells will bat next. And he hits 1, but popped up to the second baseman Ponitowski and Martinez strikes out. And Anthony will bat next. And he hits 1 playable for the left fielder Langford, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. All right, so not much offense to speak of so far, as that ball is in play, but right to Volpe, and no issues there. Langford will bat. And that's a hard ground ball, but playable for Beatty. And that's another out of the inning. And, yeah, DeLauder will bat. And that's hit well, pretty deep to right field, but stays in the park, and Martinez pulls it in. So that's another 1-2-3 inning. Yeah, we're dealing so far. Unfortunately for us, Bradish is also doing quite well, as PCA hits 1 right to the right fielder, Santana. Volpe strikes out. That's his second strikeout of the game, I believe, and Beatty will bat. Oh, as Beatty gets hit on the 2-2 pitch. And so De Jesus will come up with a man on, 2 outs. And strikes out. Okay, 5 strikeouts now for Bradish. Yeah, any runs we can get would be great here, but especially with Alcantara dealing like this, that's a strikeout for him. And a pop-up. Nice job there. Ozuna. And that is shallow but playable for Martinez. And that is 5 innings where, yeah, I won't say it. Kinney will strike out there. And Santana will come up to bat next. Oh, the quick throw, and they bobble it at first. Santana is safe, and he is a threat to steal. We'll see if he goes here. No, he does not, and we get the pop-up to the second baseman. So now 2 outs in the inning, and Martinez will bat against Bradish, who's at 76 pitches. And that does not get through, but Pontoski bobbles it, and there's another error. That's their 3rd error of the game. Let's see if we can make them pay for this one as Anthony comes up to bat. He's 0 for 2 so far today. Bradish starting to get tired. He's at 81 pitches. And that's a hard grounder to first, but playable for Ozuna. So we do not take advantage of the error. Still 1-0. Love some run support for Alcantara here in this game, but that is over Santana's head. That's the first base hit of the game. Yeah, took a no-hitter into the 5th inning. As Alcantara strikes out Aliendo. That's his 5th strikeout. Rinson will bat. As they steal, there's a strikeout. Is that a strikeout throwout? No. Marsh does get the steal off successfully. Alcantara starting to run out of gas. He will face Santana here, though. I'm going to let him try to finish out the inning. There's a little dribbler in front of the plate, and that should be playable for first. And Santana is cut down. So, nice job there. I think I'll need to see how this inning goes before deciding if we're going to bring Alcantara back out for the 7th or not, with the heart of their order due up. As Volpe sneaks one through into center field. That's a base hit. And Beatty will bat. Let's see another home run from Beatty. Nope. That is out at first and out at second. They do turn the double play. Wow, okay. So, still 1-0, 87 pitches. I think his day has to be done with the 1-0 lead. We have no margin for error. Yeah, we're going to go with Hudson here. To face Langford. And that ground ball's hit well, but playable for Santana. He throws it across to first for the first out of the inning. And De Lauder will bat. And strikes out. Nice job there by Hudson. Walcott will bat next. Sorry, we got a weird gap in there because I had to sneeze, but we got the next out. So it's a 1-2-3 inning. Yeah, it is now. Yeah, our turn to bat. The strikeout for De Jesus. Bradish still in the game. He's at 97 pitches. Let's see if we can get to him here. And the throw to first is in time. And now they bring in the reliever Rosario to face Santana. And that's hit fairly well, but playable for Langford. So that is 1-2-3 inning for us. As Hudson, we've got Ponatoski, Ozuna, and Marsh. Yeah, let's leave Hudson in. That's fine. As Kinney will charge in. No, not Kinney. Yes, Kinney. It's off his glove for an error. Oh. Ponatoski strikes out. And Hudson will face Ozuna. And strikes out. Alright, and now with the lefty Marsh up, let's bring in Jackson Ferris and have him try to close out this game with the 4-out save. As Sapo comes in to pinch hit. And he hits one decently well, and it does fall in for a hit right in front of Martinez. So Sapo's on, and Aliendo will bat next. And strikes out, so no harm there for the single, and we're still up 1-0. Let's see if we can get some insurance runs here, as Austin Wells will bat against Weathers. No, he will not against the lefty-lefty matchup. We will go to Grant, maybe? Yes, Grant's still playing in the goddamn fall league. Alright. I thought I had fixed that, but apparently not. Alright. We're going to go with, yeah, Grant, I suppose. It's the 8th inning. Just go with matchups here. Strike 3. So Grant strikes out Martinez. And there's a pop-up there. Okay, and we will... Should I let Zimmerman bat or go to Shelley's been pretty hot, I think. Let's see. If we go to postseason, well, Bailey's actually been good too. Yeah, we'll let Bailey bat here. As he strikes out, okay. So Bailey will stay in to play catcher. Grant can play left field. Probably feel better with Wade Shelley out there, though. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Defensive lineup going into the 9th inning with a 1-0 lead. We'll go with this, as it will be Rincon, Santana, Langford up here in the 9th. And Rincon hits one fairly well, but should be playable for PCA. That's 1 out. Santana, dangerous, but 0 for 3 today. As that's hits on a line, but again right to PCA for the 2nd out of the inning. Langford, they're down to their final out. And that's caught by Volpe for the final out of the game, and we are now up 3-0 in the series after winning this one 1-0. It was a squeaker, but yeah, very nice job. Alcantara, couldn't have asked for a better game from him. You know, he maybe even had some gas left in the tank, but I couldn't afford to take any chances with just a 1-0 lead. Hudson and Ferris came in, shut it down excellently. Only one hit allowed between the two of them. Only one hit allowed by Alcantara, too. One hit, 6 innings, no earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Yeah, that's an excellent game. Going against their ace, Bradish, like, couldn't have asked for more. And our offense, manufactured just enough to get the win. Like, the sacrifice or, fielder's choice in the first inning ended up being the difference. Yeah. And as a result, we are up 3-0 in the series now. So after all that, worrying about what we potentially do for a possible game 5, we're still so this is again I'll have to go into editor go in and edit because TJ Strapadopoulos, they're pitching him in the fall league and I can't do anything about that. I think I changed the settings so this shouldn't happen next year, but yeah, it's frustrating when your presumptive game 4 starter in the ALCS is throwing in the fall league like 121 pitches. So I don't know like what would happen if he got injured in the fall league, right? Like that. Anyway, I'll go in and change it so that he hasn't pitched any in any actual games, like, so I will reset his rest status, but I don't love that, having, especially with his fragile injury proneness, like he shouldn't be throwing 121 pitches in any game. I mean, was he like on pace for a no-hitter or something? Like, no, he'd given up 6 hits and they still had him throw 121 pitches. Come on, guys. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, yeah, he will be our game 4 starter, not Sieber. Sieber still needs another day of rest. With any luck, we won't need him to pitch for us in this series as we're up 3-0 and have a chance for the sweep here in game 4. So let's carry on. All right, time for game 4 here, and we're going for the series sweep. Yeah, still a very dangerous team. Carlos LaGrange pitching today. He's looks like more of a reliever than a starting pitcher with 2 good pitches, but he's done decent throughout a few starts this year, so we'll have to see how he does. Can't underestimate this team still, even though we are going for the series sweep, but it would be great to get the sweep here. Has revenge for last season when they knocked us out of the playoffs, and not quite a sweep. We did manage to win 1 game, but be a nice reversal of fortune here, as we do have TJ Strapadopoulos taking the mound for us today, fresh off his appearance in the Arizona Fall League. Still, hopefully that'll be fixed for next year. But yeah, we have him going in game 4. He was excellent in his start against the White Sox, only allowing 1 earned run. Let's hope for another result like that today, as he will step in. We are 1 game away from the World Series. First World Series of the expansion team, Oakland A's. If it happens, and that's over Santana's head, but man on with 1 out. Let's see here. So that's hit fairly well, but playable for PCA. That's out number 2, and Walcott will bat next. As the runner goes, and he gets a great jump. That's, Langford very speedy on the base paths. And they walk Walcott. So 2 on now with 2 outs, and Ponatoski up to bat. But there's a grounder to the first base side, and Kinney will take it to the bag. No problems there. We get out of it with just 1 hit, 1 walk allowed. And Wells will lead off. He's been good in the leadoff spot. Let's see if he can do some damage here. Just a little grounder down the first base line. And he's safe. Nice job beating out the throw there by Wells. All right, Martinez will bat next. And that is into right field for a base hit. Will Wells go for third? He will. It's a long throw, but off target, so Wells beats out the throw, and now we have first and third with no outs. And Roman Anthony up to bat. He hits it to the second baseman. Does get the out at first, but that scores a run. And if you remember, that was the difference in the last game. So, you know, any run we can get, we will take. Absolutely. It's 1-0. As PCA grounds it to the left side, and that sends Martinez to third. Let's see if Volpe can knock him home with a hit here. No, he strikes out to end the inning, but we do score 1 off of 2 hits, and now we are up 1-0. Give our young pitcher the lead heading into the second. There's a grounder to the shortstop Santana, no problems there. Routine. And Brandon Marsh will hit next. Because that's a high fly ball deep to left field, and that is gone. Okay, so that ties the game at 1. Brandon Marsh, 404-foot homer. Yeah, that was a no-doubter right there. All right, just like that, it's 1-1. As Aliendo hits one to shallow center, and PCA makes a nice sliding catch. That's his elite defense out there at work. That's why you play him there, folks. Rizone pops out to right field, and we're tied at 1. Beatty to left field, but that is hung up enough to be caught by Langford. DeJesus. That should get down for a hit, and it does. Bounces in front of Marsh, and DeJesus is on with a single. As the bottom of the order comes up now, Cooper Kinney also hits a single. DeJesus will stop at second. And Santana has a chance to knock in some runs here. As that's, right to the shortstop. Or second baseman, Ponatoski. As Wells will bat. He's 1 for 1 today. He's hot. Let's see if he can continue that hot streak. And he can. That falls in for a hit. Let's see if the run will score. They should go for the play at the plate, and they do not get it. So Oakland leads 2-1, and that allows all the other runners to advance. So now second and third with 2 outs. Martinez has a chance to knock in some runs. But he strikes out on the full count there. But we're back up 2-1. So that's hit fairly well, but playable for Anthony. Langford strikes out on 3 pitches. Nice job there by Straps. DeLauder strikes out. Nice job there. 1-2-3 inning. And it is still 2-1 as we head back up to bat with Anthony, PCA, and Volpe, I believe, up in this inning. PCA hits one deep to left field, and that one's gone. Nice job by PCA. First home run this postseason. Just barely made it out, 343 feet, but we'll take it. Look at those fireworks go off. All right. Quick hit it while they're blinded by the fireworks. All right. Volpe hits it straight to Langford for the second out of the inning, and Beatty will bat next. And that is right to the shortstop, and that is easy play there. So we've gotten a run each inning, and we're on pace for 9 runs in this game. That would be enough to win, we would hope. Strikeout there. Now, nice job. That's his 4th strikeout of the game by Strapodopoulos. There's a little grounder straight to Santana. He throws across to first and gets the out there for out number 2. Ozuna. Hit well and deep and over the left fielder's head. Anthony will throw that back in. That's probably extra bases for Ozuna as he slides into second with a double. Let's see if we can get out Marsh. He did have the solo home run his last time up. And that's hit to Volpe, and covering first is Kinney. No problem there. So 3-1, still our lead as we head into the bottom of the 4th. DeJesus takes a walk. The bottom of our order has been effective this game as Kinney, as if on cue, another single. And Santana has a chance to get some runs here as it's first and second with no outs. And that falls in for a hit. That ought to score a run. Oh, and it'll score extra as the ball gets past Marsh. And that error allows a run to score for sure. It's 4-1. And that's it for their starting pitcher. We are to their bullpen already in the 4th inning. Not bad at all. This is an elimination game for them, so they're not going to hold back. They want to keep it at a close game. Let's see if Wells can bust this game wide open here. And he takes a walk. So bases loaded, no outs now. With the heart of our order up, Martinez. What can he do? Strikes out. Okay, you hate to see a strikeout there, but Anthony will bat next with a righty on the mound. And he walks, so Owens walks home a run, and it is 5-1 now. The PCA with the home run his last time up. The lefty does come in. PCA hits one, and they go for the out at home. They do get the out at home, so it's still 5-1, 2 outs. Volpe, any kind of hit will score multiple runs, and as if on cue, there's a hit down the line that'll score multiple runs, and we are busting this game wide open. That's a bases clearing double for Volpe. 3 runs score, and it's 8-1 now. Nice job there. Beatty, we're going to pinch hit for him against the left-handed pitcher. And it will be Grant to bat for Beatty. As every run does matter here. And Grant comes through on cue with a single, and that'll be a 9-1 lead. And Buto comes in, and yeah, they're falling apart here in game 4 of the playoffs. As that's hit deep by DeJesus, that may not stay in the yard, and it won't. That's now an 11-1 lead. 8-run 4th inning, and the wheels have officially come off. As Kinney, most of that was with 2 outs as well. Nice hitting there by our team. Grant will stay in to play third. Strapodopoulos will continue to pitch with just 73 pitches thrown and a comfortable lead. And 2 quick outs here in the inning. As he's got 82 pitches, but he will at least finish out this. Yeah. Alright, so his 5th strikeout. He might come back out for the 6th. We'll see. As Santana grounds it to first. Oh, Marsh makes a nice catch there. As Martinez walks. Anthony will bat next. Anthony walks. PCA. Hits one to the gap. That'll score at least 2 more. Yeah, so I think Straps will come back out here in the 6th. PCA tries to stretch it there with the aggressive turn, but it is still 13-1. As that ball gets through for a base hit. DeLauder bats next. Strikeout. 97 pitches. I think his day would be done there. And we want our long reliever Tobias here with a comfortable lead. We may see Cutter Coffee again in this game. Drew Sommers coming in to pitch. Yeah, this was a team that won, I think, 97 games alongside us, and I mean, they were missing their ace. 2 of their best pitchers, but you still would expect them to be yeah, I was not expecting a series sweep. Granted, it's not over yet. Crazier things have happened, but I feel pretty confident here as Ponatoski does hit one out here to make it 13-2. Ozuna strikes out there. Marsh hits one well, but playable for our right fielder. Martinez grabs it. Aliendo also playable for Martinez. So got Santana, Wells, Martinez up. Santana strikes out. Wells, normally I'd pull him against left-handed pitching, but he's 2 for 3 today. I don't think I'm going to pull him here. Martinez strikes out there to end the inning. Tobias will come back out for the 8th. They pitch the 9th too, depending on how this inning goes. Strikes out there. And that's hit fairly deep, but playable for Martinez. He makes a nice one-handed grab. As Anthony hits one straight to Langford. PCA walks. Volpe pops out to third baseman, Walcott. And Grant with what would be a double play if there were more than one out left in the inning. So Tobias, I don't think we'll have to go to Cutter Coffee here. We could for fun. Let's do it. Why not? Strike 3. Strike 3. He's been better than some of our actual relievers. Yeah, that's a 1-2-3 inning for Cutter Coffee as we clinch the game and the series with a 13-2 win. And man, yeah, that was a game right there. LaGrange gets absolutely demolished. 6 earned runs on 3 innings. We get to their bullpen early and often. Yeah, that was just absolute demolishing there. And that 8-run 4th inning, I think we batted around. Austin Wells named series MVP, which is great. He probably deserved it. And DeJesus player of the game, I think he had a home run. Yeah, home run on 2 hits, 2 walks. Yeah, and that scored 3. And we are officially World Series bound with that. But we still need to see who we will be playing in the World Series. Hopefully the Cardinals at least pick up a game here. No, as the Cardinals get swept. Okay, so we do have some time here until the actual World Series starts, which is crucial because I want to see how Gavin Jones has 5 days left on his injury. 3 days left on his injury. Okay, so he will be available. He will be on the playoff roster. He won't be available for game 1. That will likely be Jose Bello, but Jones will pitch in this series, which means Sieber will go back to his stopper role. And plenty of our pitchers will be well rested, minus Strapodopoulos, thanks to pitching in the fall league again. And the Dodgers are going to be a tough team to face. They also won 97 games this year, and they're the Dodgers, right? Like, they still have, they should still have Shohei Ohtani. Where's Ohtani? Where is Ohtani? Hello? Ohtani? They didn't trade Ohtani, did they? Ohtani retired. Wow. Okay. He retired at the end of last season. I wasn't aware of that. Okay. So at age 38, Ohtani is done with professional baseball, but still, yeah, on track with a lot of good Hall of Fame numbers, I think. Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize. I thought he still had some juice left in him as he put up 2.7 WAR in his last season. I think he could have kept playing until 40 probably, but I respect wanting to go out on your own terms, I guess. So we will not have Otani to face, but still a very dangerous Dodgers lineup. Let's take a look here, as we do have a bit of time to kill. I want this episode to not be too short. Mookie Betts still playing for the Dodgers here at age 40, putting up, this is Otani retired when he was putting up good numbers. Betts probably needs to retire as he put up -3 WAR last season and -1 WAR this season. Kind of not great. Not great at all. Okay, let's look at pitching here. They do have Garrett Crochet now, signed in the 2029 offseason, and he's been, Garrett Crochet for them, been an ace. He's going to be dangerous. Minhan Rowe looks like a generated player. Yeah, he was generated from Korea and also has pitched like an ace. Probably deserved, if not a Cy Young last year, something close to it, and this year was not much worse. Rookie Sasaki's still there, still pitching very well at age 30. A lot of their guys, and Corbin Burns is their fourth pitcher, and pitching well. That is a crazy rotation, but it's the Dodgers. I mean, that's kind of what you expect. Somehow that starter ERA is only 5th in the National League. But they are first in FIP and pitching WAR and strikeouts. That makes more sense to me. I didn't look at their bullpen either. Gerald Rosado, man, he looks elite too, and he led the league in saves. 1.93 ERA. Yeah, that's a reliever of the year candidate right there. So they are just stacked. And Otanya's looks good too with a sub-2 ERA. Like, that's a very stacked rotation and bullpen. Moises Bolivar looks very good. He's a young player. Is he a real player? He is a real player. Prospect in their system who has come on and just absolutely lit things up. He's only 25 years old. Zach Neto was on the Angels, traded for him, and he's been pretty dang good. Their bat's not quite as scary as their pitching rotation, but there's still some good bats here. Did they have any injuries? Soo-Kyung Jang is injured, and Alex Freeland. So that's gonna be a tough rotation to get to, but we have a good offense that can do it. I mean, they just had a series in which they scored over 10 runs in 2 of the games. I think we've got a serious chance. We also won 97 games. It should be a good series. And it will be the World Series, our first ever World Series as the expansion team Oakland A's. I'm excited. I think Dodgers A's should be a great matchup. Couldn't have asked for a better one. And we will get Gavin Jones back, not for game 1. He will probably pitch game 3 in this series, it looks like. But having him back at all for this series is great. And our pitching in general has been good. Let's just look at postseason here. Ferris with a 5.4 ERA, not amazing, but that was mainly due to getting knocked around a little bit by the White Sox, but pretty small sample size. Only Mantiply hasn't pitched at all, and that's just because there hasn't been a lefty situation where he's needed to come in and pitch. And if there has been, I think we've gone more towards Bourgeois, who's been excellent. Um, yeah, some really, really good numbers from all of our pitching staff here. And then postseason, DeJesus by OPS has been our hottest hitter. Beatty had the one game where he hit 2 home runs, I believe. Um, yeah, 2 home runs in the first game of the series. And that pretty much single-handedly won us that game. Volpe has just been consistently good. Bailey's been great as the backup catcher. PCA, his numbers have come up after, I think, struggling to start the playoffs against the White Sox. Um, yeah, only Anthony has been a little cold. Santana, but his worth is more in his defense anyway. And Grant has been a little underwhelming as well. He, not that we're gonna do any roster adjustments or anything. I think the roster we've been rolling with is what we're gonna keep going with here. Could think about maybe Griffin, but um, yeah, I think we'll stick with what we have most likely. It's tempting to bring in someone like Griffin as just a pure pinch runner. Um, but I don't know. I don't think we need to. Um, I'll think about it. As that will be the end of this episode. Yeah, we are officially World Series bound against the LA Dodgers. Should be a good series. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell all of your friends and family that the fictional Oakland A's are World Series bound here in 2032. Yeah, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.